Hey, good morning guys, welcome to the Daily Show. Here we are on Thursday the 6th of November 2016 and my arm's killing me, this camera is extremely heavy. As you can tell, I'm using the big camera for vlogging these days, purely so you don't get the flickering thing. Anyway, here we go. So, this is our spray bag. As you see, I had a bit of a tidy up last night, sorted out the wiring. I have soldered and blocked it, to be honest, because there's a quicker way, and I've wired it into the main power which does everything down there. Okay, so it was easier than having an on-off switch separate, because to be honest, it's always going to be on because of the lighting thing behind it. But there's those little lights. As you see, how dinky and cute are they? As you might notice, they've got a little bit of filter. If I get underneath here, underneath them, that's why you're not being blinded, which is pretty much what we want. Now, don't take too much notice because the white balance isn't set for this camera. It's just like on a normal mode, but you can see hopefully it'll be very nice for when this guy is done in here. So that one is now ready for primer. We're going to get that primed. We're going to get all of that primed as well. This morning is my first job. I'd say a little bit later starting than normal, okay, but we're going to get all of that done, and then that puts us exactly to where we want to be. Then we're going to be looking at this lot. I don't know if I'll get them all done today, but it'll be done today and tomorrow. So down here, as I said, we've got the Airfix Meteor. Newish kit. As I say, I should have reviewed it months ago, just never got around to it. So we're going to be looking at that one. Also, these are those scribers we were talking about. So this is the MRP scriber sets. So we're going to be doing those, having a good look at those. All right. We've also got, which has been sent to me. I haven't actually paid for these, in all honesty. These have actually been sent to me by Merrick over at HM Hobbies to have a look at. But also, we were talking about how that the MRP paints need a good mix. So he sent me a Badger paint mixer, so that would be a bit of a thing. Also, because Steve loves this stuff, so I thought I'd better have a look. We've got some of the Mr. Mark setting. So basically it's decal setting solution. Weird, it's white, that's odd. Very, very odd. Okay, as you can see, I have the tank in a little cabinet now because we finished with that one. Over on here, if I adjust the camera a little bit, as you can see, I have bought more MRP paint, so we've had to sort of move the everything around, which is always a problem because you buy a set of paint and you're like, yeah, that's great, and then, oh right, I've got to move now everything to get them on order. So they're all in number order. So some of the colours that are different in here, how well this will work, but you might notice down there we've got aluminium, white aluminium, steel, we've got all the metallic ranges. So we're not going to have time this week, but next week I'm going to give a run with those. The only thing that's a bit odd is that they've got number 9, 8, 9, and then it goes 30. That's the metal colours, and then there's more of them elsewhere down in here, which I'm just trying to look for them. But yeah, so the metal colours are sort of dispersed around here. There we go, there they are down there. MRP 148, 149, 147, 146. They're all metal colours as well. And also we got like burnt metals, we got some of the blues, the violets and the colours they do. Some of the new colours that have just come out, we got this guy down on here, 205, which is that one for the SU34. And 204 down there, and 203 and 202. So really that's all the ones for the SU34, those really weird colours down there. But eggplant dark grey, brilliant colour. Okay, so as you can see, I've had to completely rearrange my paint rack. And you might notice, obviously down here in the spray booth now, we're a lot tidier, a lot cleaner and everything else. I'm thinking, still don't know which way to do this. At the end of the day, as you can see, that is my spray booth type area, just like that, okay? Which is great, no problem at all. But I just need more extraction. Okay, and I know what some of you have had some great suggestions and feedback on the way I could actually do this by having perhaps glass so we can film through it. The trouble is, yeah, we've got these huge lights up here, we've got the camera, you're going to get reflection from the glass. That's why I don't use glass and everything else. But what I really just need is extraction, a pure and simple grunt. We need horsepower here. So what I'm planning on doing, I think I'm going to buy another one of these, which I hate to do it. Very expensive for what it is, but it is still the best. I have yet to find anything else. If somebody's got another idea of a good extraction system, I am more than open to offers on this, okay? But what we need is something which can just get everything out of here, but I can still get cameras, as you can see, like above it. I normally have one on this side and I have another one on this side, so it's no point having it in a booth that's made of something solid, because the acoustics and the lighting is just not going to work. Okay, you at home should have it so it is literally in a funnel, so everything is going out one way, so you don't need to get, probably what I'm going to do is buy another one, maybe even two, perhaps we have 3 in a row. No, it's completely overkill. But something like that, okay, just to get all the smell and everything out of here, because, as I said, I'm going to be using that lot. You know, we're going to be using all the MRP paints. They're lacquer-based, they're smelly, and everything else. So we need to up my game a little bit about trying to get the smells, the fumes, and everything out here as well. And the other thing I do like is really, it is a good unit, as you can hear. Okay, there's no problem with it at all, and it's not too loud. You can still hear me, bearing in mind I'm behind the microphone now, but it isn't too bad at all. And I'm thinking with 3 of those, it's not too loud, because to be honest, it's not the loudest thing on the planet. It's pretty good, but the extraction is very nice. So I might have a word with them and see if there's another system they do, a bigger one. If not, we're just going to get another one. I don't know, maybe 2. I don't know. We'll see how we go. Anyway, busy morning. As I said, I'm going to get this thing all primed up with you this morning, and then that gets me back on track to where I want to be. All right, so I'm very happy with the lighting. Then we're going to get on with those reviews and everything else like that. And then we're going to be, well, I don't know, once those are done, editing, I suppose, all afternoon. Now, for this, we're going to be using our usual primer, which I absolutely love, which is the AK Micro Filler Primer. Really nice, but make sure it has a good shape. You might see some dark patches in the bottom of the bottle there. It just literally needs to be shapen to an inch of its life neat. So for this, all we're going to do is just pop it around the canopy. And really this is to check. This is just to check that the canopy is seating properly, as well as obviously we don't need to change the colour cut or anything else because we're going straight in. I'm going to put a lid on here. We're spraying this a little bit more lightly than perhaps we would do normally. So we can go over this now, right over the top. Hopefully you can see we are completely seam free, okay, and that's what we're after. Got no problems with any of those joints and anything down there, and you think we had some quite nasty areas, okay, but we are absolutely fine everywhere. And that's what we're saying about preparation. It just makes jobs like this so much easier. And you can see this riveting detail is all still down here at the back. And it really does look really very good. I'm very happy of how that's turned out. Okay, so busy morning this morning. To be honest, I've just doing reviews, but first of all, we have painted the Mitsubishi F1 Jaguar Love Child, and I have to say, you know, we talk about obviously primers and various things like it, and I am to the point now where I am going to be highly recommending this stuff. This is the Micro Filler Primer. In fact, I'll do it now. It comes in 3 shades, obviously grey, black and white. Now, over the last few months, I've been using this stuff all the time. But because of the thing of, let's face it, I've recommended pretty much everybody's primer over the last couple of years, and they've all turned out to have problems and Achilles heels, and they've been just a complete dog, okay? This stuff, I said, I've been using the last few months, and I've used it in pretty much every environment, through really rough kits to stuff that's had loads of work, to doing resin with it, to doing metal with it and everything else, and I have found nothing that this stuff won't go to. Also, I am almost through a bottle now, and I've had no problems with it. It's not got thick at the end of the bottle, nothing's gone wrong with it. I put it neat into my airbrush, I'm spraying it through a 0.2 needle and have no problems. Easy clean up. In fact, as you'll see on this one, I didn't even change colours by cleaning, I just tipped one colour in after the other. But the effect it gives is fantastic. Again, low air pressure and let it build up, which isn't me. I'm a high air pressure guy. I spray everything at 25 psi and like me hair's on fire. Okay, when you're dealing with lacquer based paints, you need to sort of retrain your sort of way of airbrushing. Again, it's a slower, more controlled, closer to the model, lower air pressure, which isn't me, but I'm learning, all right? But the thing is, this is like glass. It is beautiful. And don't forget, we've sanded, re-scribed, re-riveted this, and it feels absolutely beautiful no matter where you touch it. And also, normally you get 90-degree angles like you get down in here. The thing is, with it, you get the vortex effect, as I call it. What happens is the air gets caught and it's backing up on itself, and it's rough. This isn't. This is like glass. I can't find anywhere that's got any roughness onto this. It is the smoothest, finest primer I've ever used. Okay, and they call it a micro filler primer. I don't think it fills much. So if you've got a problem with your actual model, and let's face it, we all get little gaps and little niggles and things like that, this isn't going to cover them up. You're not going to hide anything underneath your primer coat. But if you take care of your first coat and it goes down, this stuff is absolutely beautiful. Also, because it's lacquer based, and this is a good bonus, when you come in and you do something like we did down here, we've done a lot of sanding, a lot of filling and everything down here to get rid of those seams, because this is actually a plate that goes on the bottom. And to make this seamless, okay, get a lot of dust. And I tried to blow it as best I could, but with this stuff, because it is lacquer, it eats dust. So you don't have to worry about it. And to be honest, I had quite a lot going on under here, and it just eats through it, and it's beautiful. Very smooth, very nice finish. And that's not just the only thing. Because it comes in different colours, I've done all the gear in it. Like, this is just the white primer. Okay, saved a bit of time. You could do it like that. You could do the wheel wells with it as well, spray them up like that. The other thing I've got here is the wheels. Because it does have a sort of rubber quality. The colour that they actually do for this is really, really nice. And so this way now I can just spray onto the hubs onto it, and away we go. And it really is that straightforward. Very, very easy, very nice. And it doesn't seem to matter how you spray this down in a lot of ways. Once you've got that initial spray coat down onto it, then you can just overcoat it quite heavily and it'll just eat in. You don't want to flood it to start with. Don't think this is just a primer where you just chuck it down. You have to be a little bit refined with it, very light, little dusty coat, pop that down. Once that's dry and it's got something to etch onto, go for your life. But we all know really what Hasegawa's plastic's like. It's very hard, it's very shiny, very slippery. So this stuff has gone in, but feeling this is absolutely gorgeous. And I have to say, this is probably the best primer job I've ever done. But trust me, watch it. I wasn't hurrying around with it. I wasn't messing around with it. So let's just get it primed and done and gone. But you might notice the panel line detail, and where we've had to re-put in all the riveting down here because we sanded all of this away, it's all now popped back and it looks fantastic. And just little things like where we've gone in and we've put, we've gone down and we put these air intakes on and in. It looks like a panel line now, and a lot of that is the primers working well. It's just taking out, smoothing things out and going through. Okay, and looks really, really nice. So very, very happy with it. So my definite primer for this month, no, I'm only joking, but say I have been using it a long time now, and I do highly recommend this. At some point I will do a proper review of it, but I wanted to use it. And you think this is almost gone, but the black one I've still got quite a bit of, and obviously the white one I've really just started eating into, but I've had no problems with it, and we've been running now probably last 3 months with it, no issues whatsoever. Also, the other thing as well is great with it, it's not weather dependent. It doesn't seem to matter if it's hot or cold or anything else like that. It just tends to go down really well. So this morning I've also reviewed this guy, which again, it's a kit of two halves. Unfortunately, Airfix have shot themselves in the foot by a couple of schoolboy errors on it. But again, it is a nice aircraft and the kit is better. It's just unfortunately there is some sink marks into that one, and the riveting you can see all over the box art isn't actually on the kit, okay? But it has got some very nice stressed skin. The panel's got some nice little stressed skin, but again, it's only a few little areas. It's not the entire model, which seems a little bit odd. I would be expecting, if you're going to do it, but they've done it in just 2 little key areas, which seems a little bit weird, but it may be that's what it does. But it is a Meteor and it's a classic jet and all the rest of it, and it will look absolutely fantastic when it's done. The other thing as well I've been doing is these. So these are the Mr. Scribers. Again, okay, being completely honest, I didn't pay for these, they were sent to me, so you would think I'd have to give them a positive spin. trust me, don't buy the blue one because it makes a pig's ear of rescribing. It tears its way through. It's not nice at all. The black one, ding, beautiful. No problem with that at all. Works really well. And the needle, it is what it is. It's a needle. It's very comfortable in the hand and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, it is a needle. So it's a split review, really. The black one works a treat. Blue one's horrible. And the needle does what it says on the tin. So, but there we go. But you can see all about that. I'll get that one edited up and it'll either be up today or tomorrow. But I've done it on some of this so you can see it and everything else like that. So that takes me, it's now 1:15. I've got to edit all of this now and get this all sorted. So I'm going to spend the afternoon editing. And if I get a bit of time later on, I might try and get some paint work onto these. I might do the gear in the various bits. To be honest with this gear, all I'm going to do is then gloss it. And that'll be it. I'm not going to repaint it white because there's no point. I might spray up the hubs for the wheels so the gear is all done, ready to go. So when we're working through the camo and stuff, we haven't then got to go back to building and everything else like that, which I quite like doing now. So there we go. I'll catch you all later. Okay, so busy afternoon. To be honest, I've been solidly editing, trying to get through. I've edited, 4 reviews for you. They've been done and working our way through. So reviews you got coming on the way, we've done down here. One, a paint mixer. Who knew? You know, at the end of the day, it's going to be one of those tools you think, I never need one, and now I've got one, I will use nothing else. Really works very well. So you've got the review of that coming up, probably be next week now, to be honest. We've also been looking at the Mr. Scriber series. And obviously, yes, they're scribers, yes, they do the job. One works really well, and then the others don't. You've seen about that anyway. That will be up with you tomorrow. Okay, so you're going to get those tomorrow. Up with you today will be this guy. So I actually reviewed this last week. I only got around to editing it, sorting it out recently. So this is for the Trumpeter 135th scale BM21 Grad, which is obviously like an MLRS system on the back of it. As I said before, lovely truck, nice and meaty. Probably one of those builds that I will do. I get a lot of these trucks and armour in and I think, yeah, probably never get around to building it. Love the look at that, and I think just you can go to town with the weathering and everything else, and it actually is a really nice kit. So definitely have a look at that review. That is up with you now. And then tomorrow as well, to go along with the Scribers, be a double episode tomorrow. We've got this, which is the Airfix Gloucester Meteor. Again, they're almost there, but just not quite. There's a few little things with it and everything else. But anyway, you can see the full review of that tomorrow. For me, as I said, just spoke about it with the actual primer and everything else. I've done the white work as well. So we've done the white work for all inside of the wheelbase. To be honest, over here, I've done the wheels. They've all been sorted out, and all the other areas that needs to be in white. So really pushing ahead with this one. So tomorrow, as long as I can get a load of editing done, I might be able to start getting the first coats of paint down on this. So it just shows how we are nicely pushing along with all these builds and everything else like that. So obviously Friday, if you're looking around the forum, going to have a look at your great work and everything else. And as I say, we'll have a few more reviews for you up tomorrow. So until tomorrow, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.